it's like really windy, so if that is something that you do not like hearing, I apologize. Also, before I start, my nails, these are fake press-on nails. I can't get my nails done because of my job. I was watching a Trisha Paytas ASMR video, which she's like really good in ASMR, by the way. But because she's a mom and all that, she can't wear, like, she can't get her nails done. And she was talking about how she was wearing like nail adhesives, which I didn't know that existed. Let me show you. They look like that. You can't see that really. You put these like adhesives on your nails, and it's like so easy to take them off and put them on. And I went to Etsy immediately and I bought a bunch. So now I have a few. In her video, she like did like a press-on nail haul, and the noises she made with the fake nails sounded so good, and I wanted to share it with you all before I start this video. I'm just like obsessed. Her press-on nails are definitely 10 times more expensive than the ones I got, but yeah, the ones I'm wearing right now are by Clary Nails. It looks like that. And the ones I just showed you are by Bad Taste Nails on Etsy. These are, I think, acrylic. But yeah, because I always want to have nice nails when I film, but I'm just never able to because of my job. But also I bite my nails. That's another thing as well. So I can never make nice tapping. Anyway. Anyways, so, but that's not what this video is about. The Song of Achilles. So the Song of Achilles. This book I have had on my shelf for like so long, and I kept holding off reading it. I kept procrastinating, and then I decided to read it online, I decided to listen to it, and I feel like the wind is way too loud. I decided to listen to it online, and like that absolutely saved me, because like the books that I just don't seem to get to physically, I'm able to just listen to them while I'm at work, and it just is a lifesaver. So I listened to it, and personally I didn't really get attached to any of the characters. It wasn't really good and it wasn't really bad. I rated it 3 stars. If you want to know my Goodreads, I'll put a link or my name or whatever in the description box. I know that this book is very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I know a lot of people don't really like when people criticize this book because it is, I don't know what the word is. I'm an itch. It is an important book, if you will, because if you don't know the Song of Achilles, if you don't know like their story, basically Achilles and Patroclus are lovers, and it is a Greek mythology story. I'm not that familiar with their story, but it's a of Patroclus, I think that's how you pronounce it. Achilles fought in the Trojan War. Okay, if that tells you anything. Probably not. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. It takes place in the span of a few years. As in, like, I believe both of them are like 12 or like 11, and then it kind of just gradually kind of time is going by, and I think by the end of it they're like in their late 20s, I think. So I do have another book that also was really fast paced. Like, it takes place in the span of like 800 years, and it's like really short, and I was just able to connect and just enjoy that one way more. It's actually one of my favorite books now, but I will get to it. But this one, I just wasn't attached. I will say I did cry. I did cry at the end, I will say that. But this is a YA, by the way. Also, I'm so sorry. Oh, I keep burping. I'm sorry if this annoys you. I'm not really sure what to do about it, so I'm sorry. Next, I finally got to read A Court of Silver Flames. This one I was also holding off reading, but I was like, I've already read the entire Akodar series except this one, and I was like, you know what, I'll just read it, mostly because when I read the Akodar series, one of my most hated character, not only from the series but in general, was Nesta. I could not stand her. I really couldn't. And this book definitely made me not hate her anymore. I was still frustrated with her. I'll get into it. Anyways, if you don't know what the Akodar series is about, it follows our main character, Feyre, who lives in a cottage with her two older sisters and her dad, and they used to be nasty rich, okay? And then they lost all their money, and in order for them to survive, Feyre would go out to hunt, and then she would like sell animals and like their fur and all that. And her older sisters did nothing, and her dad did also nothing. Which, yes, the dad is definitely the true villain in this story. So yeah, I mean, obviously it was never the sisters are only like 2 years older than Feyre, you know what I mean? It's not like Feyre's like really, really young, and her like way older sisters allowed her to go out and hunt. But the way that they treated her, especially Nesta, it pissed me off, and people kept being like, but her trauma, and I'm like, I get it, but I'm still frustrated with Nesta, okay? I'm still frustrated with her, okay? Because Nesta was basically nasty towards Feyre her entire life, and I'm not gonna get into all the reasons why. I mean, growing up, Feyre was more similar like her dad, and Nesta and her other sister Elaine were more like their mom. And like also growing up, like her mom, or their mom, she expected perfection from like Nesta, and Elaine was basically just a pretty face. And so, I mean, I think that her trauma, Nesta's trauma, is very complex, and I could definitely relate to some things, especially with like her failures and stuff. I think that a lot of people compare Nesta to Cardan, who is from The Cruel Prince, and I definitely see why. But also, I hated Cardan when I first read about him. And then I read the novella, which is how the King of Elfhame learned to hate stories, and just how Cardan was groomed to hate humans, and also how he never experienced any love or affection, and that's basically Nesta in a nutshell as well. Not necessarily the grooming part to hate humans, but, you know, Feyre was basically allowed as a child to do whatever, whereas Nesta and Elaine had like the mom expected stuff from them, and the mom would basically neglect Feyre, right? So from an early, from the time Feyre was born, Elaine and Nesta saw how the mom kind of rejected Feyre, right? So I understand why Nesta was the way towards Feyre. However, the thing about me is that if a family member lashes out at me, I will yell back. And in many ways, yes, Feyre did lash out at Nesta as well. I feel this is really annoying. Feyre would lash out at Nesta, but eventually she didn't, because she knew that Nesta was struggling. And so Nesta would just, I don't know, there were so many times where Nesta was so unfair to Feyre, and that's basically what frustrated me. That's why I still have like slight beef with Nesta. It's because if Nesta was my sister, I would absolutely just say, you know, F you, you know, easily, and I would definitely lash out at her a lot, and we would yell back and forth. Like, I would not give Nesta the time of day. So this book follows Nesta's kind of journey, because Nesta is struggling, okay? And overall, it was fine. It took me a while. To finish it. It took me like 2 months or something, maybe even longer. I mean, it doesn't only follow Nesta, it also follows like other fantasy war related stuff, but I don't remember and I wasn't really paying attention. So it does have spice, so and it also did make me cry. It did. Next, I read Ballad of Nightmares. This is a duology, and I don't think the second book is out yet. This book, there's this woman named Kylie on TikTok who talked about this book, and so I bought it. And it is a fantasy. It's spicy. I don't know if you can call it dark romance. I don't know, but it is kind of gothic, I guess. So it follows two POVs. We have, I forgot her name. I'm gonna call her Anna because Anna is like her undercover name. Her actual name I don't remember, and I also don't know how to pronounce it. So we have Anna, and she is an assassin, I guess. Basically, she goes to the different kingdoms in this world, and she basically assassinates like the kings and the queens and stuff because of their privilege and the way that they treat minorities and all that. And so she goes to our other character, Death, the Reaper. So she goes to his kingdom, and she wants to bring him down. However, no one knows how he looks like. No one knows how Death looks like, or like the Grim Reaper or whatever. No one knows how he looks like, so she doesn't know. So she's trying to find a way to like get into his house and like whatever, or like she's trying to figure out how to get to him. Okay, and so death, his name is Sam. Actually it's not, but it's, well, it's like what was his name? Oh, I think it was Samaria's, but they call him Sam. So Sam, he knows who she is, and so he ends up meeting up with her because I forget why he wants to see her. I think it's because he wants to see who he's gonna deal with, right? He wants to see this person who wants to kill him. So he ends up meeting up with her, and she doesn't know that Sam is the one she has to kill. So obviously they fall in love. Also, Anna, the girl, she is plus sized, aka like mid-sized, and I believe it says that her skin is bronzed, which to me, I would say that she's like black. She's at least, she's not white at least, which I like that. I like some more representation, okay? This book was quite good. I would say I preferred half of the book more than the other half. I was kind of struggling towards the other half, but I will read the sequel. It was good though. I will say the writing was really good. The kind of the banter between them was really good. I also really liked both of their like personalities. Yeah. Basically. I'm gonna get my hair done soon-ish, and I'm basically gonna dye my hair brown again, and I'm gonna ask them to make it, like, dye my hair as close as they can to my natural hair color, because I like the blonde, but I can't keep up with it, as you can clearly see. But yeah, I do recommend it. I did like it. 4 stars. Next, I finished Finale. Oh my god. Okay, so this is the 3rd book in the Caraval series, and y'all, I really liked the first Caraval book. The second, a lot of people's favorite was the second one, which is called Legendary. I personally did not care for it whatsoever. Like, it was just so boring. I don't know why, but it was, and I was struggling to finish it, and I was also struggling to finish this one. I rated this one 3 stars, so I liked it better than the second one. I just didn't care for the characters whatsoever. Scarlet is my favorite, I would say. I know a lot of people don't like her, or she's like the least favorite, but like, so if you don't know what Caraval is about, it's about a caraval, which is like at first I thought it was like a carnival, but it's like a I don't remember the word for it. It's like there's like clues that you have to follow, and it's like a mystery game. It's like a game, and I forget the word for it right now, but it's not a carnival. It's like where you have to follow clues and you have to like use your brain basically, and the person who wins gets to meet the host of the show, whose name is Legend. Okay, and so the main characters, Scarlet and Tella, they are sisters. Okay, and both of them have had a pretty rough childhood. They have an abusive dad, and so from an early age, Scarlet would write letters to Legend asking him for them to join the show, and because you can't just go to the show, like you have to be invited. I'm not sure how she knew, like I'm not sure like how she sent the letters, like which address, I don't know. sends these letters, and by the time Scarlett is 17 and her sister Tella is 16, he answers, which I feel like is kind of creepy that he like waits until they're 16 and 17. And Legend is like, listen, bestie, I finally read your letter. Well, I finally listened to your letter, and you were invited to Caraval. But by this point, Scarlett is very much like, okay, I have other priorities now. Like, she's engaged to someone she's never met before, and it's been so long that she's just not really feeling magical, and she's just like doesn't like, she's like grown from the fairy tales, you know what I mean? But Tella is like, hell no, we are going. So they end up going, and it reminds me, the way that the things were like described reminded me a lot of like Alice in Wonderland. It was really creative. Scarlett, for example, she had a dress. She would wear a dress that would transform based on her emotions. So if she was sad or angry, her dress would like transform, and it was really creative and like, and so it had a lot more of that in the first book. Yeah, and then after that I just didn't care for it. By the time we get to Tella's point of view, which is the second book, Legendary isn't Tella's point of view. By that point I didn't care about it. Finale also, sorry about that. Can't talk. Finale is also mostly in Tella's point of view, and I just didn't care about it. I didn't care about the love interest. However, there is one character in the series who I did like a lot. His name is Jax, and he actually got his own book as well. He got his own trilogy book series, which is called Once Upon a Broken Heart, and I have both of them, and I haven't read either, so I hope I will like them, because I wasn't a huge fan of this series except the first book. The Starless Sea. The Starless Sea. Oh my gosh. This book was a lot. I feel like this book, I'm someone who has difficulties in comprehending stuff, and this book, like, a lot of people were like, this book made no sense. It did, you just couldn't comprehend it. Just like me. I did Google it and like try to kind of like look at the hidden meaning it had, and I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So it follows our main character Zachary, who he loves to read, right? Zachary is a bookworm, so he's in the library, and he's also a college student or like a university student, I don't remember, and he studies something to do with maybe video games and gender, I don't know. Either way, he goes to a library, and he comes across a book that only has like the book title, not the author, and so he's like, that's weird, right? So he asks the librarian, and she's like, no, I don't know who wrote this book. So he ends up taking it home, and he starts reading it, together. All of them have like clues. I'm trying not to spoil anything. But what I liked about it as well is that there is a little bit of romance. A little bit. And the romance was just, it was really cute. The romance was so cute and so wholesome, and I really loved the romance. So it was just a beautiful book. Like, it is really confusing, and this is not, I understand how this is not everyone's cup of tea. I rated it 4 stars. I wasn't quite 5 stars for me because of the fact that this isn't like really my style, I guess. But it was 4 stars because I did really enjoy it, and I find myself thinking about it a lot. It's also very pretty. Alright, the next book, this one I fell in love with, and this is my first like special edition. I mean, I do have others. I do have like the Harry Potter Mina Lima special editions, but this one is like real special edition. You know what I mean? Like, I got it from a subscription box. A Dowry of Blood. So personally, I prefer the UK version, which I'll put on the screen if you don't know what that looks like. I found this one pretty ugly, but, and also I did like a book clean out, and I gave my friend, because here's what's funny. So this is my first Fairy Loot book. This is the first book I got, and I was really annoyed because I already owned A Dowry of Blood. I already owned it in paperback, and I was like, are you serious? But I don't mind it because I was able to give it to my friend, and I was like, read it, and my friend really liked it as well. I read it in a day because it's very short. I think it's just over 200 pages. Let me show you what it looks like, because like under the dust jacket, I think she's very pretty. I don't think you can see it that well. Maybe you can. This is what the thing looked like. It's so pretty. Let me show you the inside. Okay. I fell in love with this book. It was so freaking good. So this is about, it's a Dracula retelling, I guess, and it's from the perspective of one of his wives, or I could say one of his lovers, because they don't ever get married, I don't think. Anyway, and basically this is the book that takes place in the span of like 800 years, and the main character, I would say, her name is I don't know how to pronounce her name. Constanta. I'm gonna call her Constance. So her main character, Constance, she basically just talks about, it's just like about it's like their story, right? And it's just about the way how Dracula was abused, like how he was abusive without it being like physical. I mean, he does put his hands on someone eventually, but you know, it just shows how he's controlling, and he keeps secrets, and you know, basically he doesn't let Constance like express herself in any other way. Like, she's just kind of stuck in his shadow, I guess, and just, I don't know. explain it. But it just, yeah, so it just gradually shows over the decades how she's being treated. I cannot stress enough how much I love this book. It was 5 stars easily. I was never bored while reading it. I read it in like one sitting. On my Goodreads it said that I read it in 2 days, which is a lie. I read it in one sitting. Anyway. If you've never read this, I highly recommend you do, because it was just so good. Okay, next we have this YA called The Girl with No Soul. I think the concept of this book was really interesting, but I wasn't a huge fan of it. I wasn't a huge fan of the execution, if you will. So we follow our main character, main character Iris, who does not have a soul. Okay, and we live in a world in which you get like judged, like people can see your soul. They have like these lanterns and like machinery where they can see your soul, and they can see the like how pure your soul is, and you're being like judged based on your like how your soul looks like. And I think every person has like their soul, like your soul, the soul can like take shape of something, you know, like a wolf or something, I don't know. But the soul is made up of, I think it was 4 parts or something. There's like the spark, and then there's the emotion, the anger, I don't remember, okay? And if your soul is not pure, you're basically a minority, okay? And people will do good deeds in order for their soul to be pure, which just kind of shows that even if your soul is pure, that doesn't mean you're a good person, because you're doing it for your soul to be pure. Anyway, and so Iris does not have a soul, right? And because of this, she can basically move undetected through the world or through the city. And so her job is to steal objects for her mistress, I guess. And one thing I found really interesting and creative is that objects hold like memories, and people will have like auctions, like in this world people will have like auctions where they will like sell certain objects for thousands of dollars. And I thought that was really creative. I don't know if it's been done before or not, but I really did like that aspect of the book. And so she has to steal things for her mistress, and then she gets paid for it. I did like the first few chapters, and then I kind of wasn't feeling it anymore. It does have romance, but I wasn't really feeling it. It does also have found family, but again, I wasn't really feeling it. I wasn't really attached to anyone. But this book, it gave me kind of not sci-fi. It gave me like dystopian vibes, like fantasy dystopian vibes. hours. So that is all the books I read in the winter time, and then when it was fall